Two fathers, two worlds, two destinies. One, a teacher, prioritizes safety and stability. He believes in the steady ascent up the corporate ladder, the stability of a salary, and the prospect of a comfortable retirement. The other, an entrepreneur, enjoys taking risks and reaping rewards. He starts enterprises, invests in assets, and thinks money should work for you, not vice versa. These two dads symbolize two courses, two ideas, and two vastly different fates. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad is more than simply a book. It's a wake-up call to question everything you've learned about money, success, and life itself. If you're weary of the grind, of living paycheck to paycheck, and of seeing others enjoy the life you want, you've come to the perfect place. Welcome to Rich.Reads, subscribe, and invest in yourself, one book at a time. Key point 1. The Poor Dad's World, the illusion of security. The poor dad embodies conventional knowledge. He values the security of stable employment, the prestige of higher education, and the prospect of a comfortable retirement. But here's the brutal reality. His path is a trap. For the poor dad, possessing a home and driving a luxury automobile represent prosperity. However, these so-called assets are wolves in sheep's clothing. They deplete your bank account with mortgages, property taxes, and upkeep fees. What you believed was money is a shackle that binds your financial freedom. Credit cards, loans, and monthly payments have become the standard. The poor dad lives in a debt cycle in which every salary is spent before it reaches his account. It's a treadmill that never stops, regardless of how quickly you run. He relies on his employment as a lifeline. But here's the irony. The more he relies on his income, the less control he has over his financial situation. He exchanges his time for money, yet time is something he can never get back. The poor dad forgoes his health, relationships, and goals in favor of his employment. But at the end of the day, he has nothing to show for his efforts, only a salary that barely covers his bills. Key point 2. The Rich Dad's World, the power of assets. The rich dad views the world differently. Wealth, according to him, is the result of working smarter rather than harder. His mantra? Make money work for you. The rich dad invests in things that provide income, such as real estate, stocks, and enterprises. These aren't simply investments, they're long-term wealth generators. He does not only save, he multiplies. He leverages leverage to buy more assets, transforming tiny investments into large profits. It's not about how much money you have, but about how you spend it. The rich dad does not view money as something that can be obtained via effort. He sees it as a tool for building, growing, and creating. It is a mindset that transforms shortage into abundance. He does not believe in selling time for money. Instead, he creates systems and assets that provide revenue, even while he is not working. The rich dad prioritizes freedom over anything else. He doesn't want to be confined to a job. He wants to live his life on his own terms. And he does this by creating money rather than simply getting a wage. Key point 3. The wake-up call, assets and liabilities. Kiyosaki's message is clear. If you want to get out of the rat race, stop collecting liabilities and start developing assets. It's more than simply money. It's about freedom. The poor dad indicates a generation raised to prioritize academic excellence over everything else. But here's the problem. Conventional schooling does not teach you how to handle money. Schools teach history, arithmetic, and science, but they leave out the one topic that affects every area of your life: financial literacy. Graduates enter the workforce with degrees, but little idea of how to manage their money. The educational system encourages uniformity while punishing errors. But in the real world, failure is frequently the first step toward achievement. The poor dad avoids risks, yet by doing so, he misses out on chances. Young adults are pushed into the deep end of financial independence without a safety net. The end effect is a cycle of debt, worry, and missed chances. The rich dad understands that financial education is essential to prosperity. He teaches his children not just how to save, but also how to invest, take chances, and think like entrepreneurs. Budgeting, investing, and entrepreneurship are more than just buzzwords. They are essential survival skills in today's market. The rich dad provides his children with the resources they need to succeed. He does not fear failure. Rather, he embraces it. Every mistake teaches us something, and every setback serves as a stepping stone. It's a mindset that transforms barriers into possibilities. The rich dad begins teaching his children about money at an early age. By the time kids reach adulthood, they are not only financially knowledgeable but also financially empowered. If you wish to overcome your financial difficulties, you must first educate yourself. Financial literacy is not only a talent, it is a superpower. Key point 4. The illusion of hard work and wealth. Poor dad's hamster wheel. The poor dad represents the work hard, play later ethos. He believes that hard work, devotion and loyalty to his career will finally pay off. But here's the harsh reality. Hard labor doesn't ensure money. The poor dad exchanges his time for money. He clocks in, works diligently, and clocks out, just to repeat the process the next day. It's an endless struggle that leaves him fatigued and dissatisfied. He clings to his work, thinking it is his safety net. However, in today's rapidly shifting economy, no employment is completely secure. Layoffs, automation, and economic downturns can all have an immediate impact on his stability. The poor dad forgoes his health, relationships, and goals in favor of his employment, but at the end of the day, he has nothing to show for his efforts, only a salary that barely covers his bills. Key point 5. Rich dad's empire building. The rich dad does not believe in exchanging time for money. Instead, he creates systems and assets that provide revenue, even while he is not working. He invests in assets that will work for him around the clock. Whether it's rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or enterprises, his money never rests. Rather than depending on his labor, the rich dad creates income-generating mechanisms. He recruits employees, automates procedures, and expands his activities. It's not about working harder, but about working smarter. The rich dad prioritizes freedom over anything else. He doesn't want to be confined to a job. He wants to live his life on his own terms. And he does this by creating money, rather than simply getting a wage. Key point 6. Beyond the paycheck. Kiyosaki's message is clear. If you want to get out of the grind, stop exchanging time for money and start creating systems that work for you. The poor dad is trapped in the loop of earning a wage. He feels that his pay is his sole source of money, and he spends his whole life pursuing raises and promotions. He's stuck in a loop of working to pay expenses. He has no time to ponder, prepare, or accumulate riches. Relying on one source of income is dangerous. If that revenue evaporates, so will his financial stability. The poor dad believes that working harder will result in more money. But in fact, his income is limited by the number of hours he can work every day. The rich dad does not depend on a paycheck. He generates many sources of revenue that flow into his life, whether he is working or not. He invests in real estate, equities, enterprises, and other assets that provide passive income. He does not simply earn money, he makes it. He invests other people's money to increase his riches. He takes out loans to acquire assets that provide greater revenue than the debt itself. The rich dad does not work for money, rather money works for him. He is free to live his life on his own terms, unencumbered by a job. Key point 7. The power of investment. The rich dad understands that real estate is one of the most effective vehicles for increasing wealth. Rental properties provide a consistent source of revenue that can cover expenditures and produce profit. Real estate values often rise over time, delivering a considerable return on investment. Mortgages allow the rich dad to purchase houses with a little down payment, while benefiting from the asset's overall appreciation. The rich dad also invests in enterprises, understanding that they have the potential to provide enormous profits. A successful firm may develop enormously, giving income and possibilities that much beyond what a job can provide. As a company owner, the rich dad has control over his earnings and destiny. He does not rely on a supervisor or a paycheck. Businesses enable the rich dad to add value, solve issues, and make a difference in the world. The rich dad does not place all of his eggs in one basket. He diversifies his investments to decrease risk while increasing rewards. The rich dad protects his money against market swings by investing in a variety of assets such as real estate, stocks, and enterprises. Diversification enables the rich dad to respond to changing economic conditions and capitalize on new possibilities. The rich dad feels secure and confident since his wealth is dispersed over many investments. Conclusion. Rich Dad. Poor Dad encourages you to reconsider everything you've learned about money, success, and life. The decision is yours. Will you follow the Poor Dad's route of safety and mediocrity? Or will you choose the Rich Dad's mentality of risk, reward, and abundance? The seeds of financial independence have already been sowed. It is up to you to nurture, grow, and reap the benefits. Are you ready to transform your financial future? Are you prepared to go from passive income recipient to active wealth creator? Share this video and subscribe for more money and investment summaries. Check out the playlist.